Important factor that I had set for us to discuss this evening, especially on the question of numbers. If we're going to look at the statistics of the Kenya Bureau of Statistics, and in terms of the numbers, of course, the Registrar of Persons perhaps would confirm that if the Luhyas do not fall top 2, then at least they are, amongst the top 5, most populated, regions in the country. And therefore, when we're talking about leadership, the irony of it all is that sometimes we want to focus on the top seat before we look at all these other, representations. What do you think, or what do you make of the possibility of us ever having a Luhya president?
When you look at the numbers,
yeah.
The Mount Kenya vote is counted as one.
Okay.
But it's not one community.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Kikuyus,
right.
You have the Merus, you have the Embus, you have the Mberes, you have the Tarakas. So anybody telling you that...
Could extend to the Kamba, maybe?
No, not the Kamba. The Kamba is different.
All right.
But those ones, now we are talking about Mount Kenya.
Mm.
So when anybody tells you is one community, they are not telling you the truth.
Okay.
Then when you look at the Luhya numbers, the Luhyas are the number 2 community in terms of numbers. Mm. But when it comes to the challenges in terms of being able to get the national leadership, mm-hmm. It is historical.
Okay.
When we, during the struggle for independence, mm-hmm. we had Kadu and Kadu. Mm-hmm. The Luhyas were predominantly in Kadu.
Right.
And when Kanu was being, when the dissolution of Kadu happened, Moi moved the other side and went on the Kanu side. Mm. Muliro and Shikuku, who were the key leaders of the Luhya community that time, mm-hmm. they went in very late. And they believed in certain values. Mm-hmm. So because of that, they were not able to amass property. They were also not able to amass money. Okay. And in our politics, money becomes a very key factor.
Yeah.
So that played a big role because most of our key leaders were locked out of accessing the opportunities.
Right.
Then Moi comes into power in 1978 after the death of Kenyatta. Right. And he made sure he politically destroyed all the key Luhya leaders. Okay. He started with Muliro in Kitale East. He brought in Gumo. They locked out Muliro. Then he locked out the likes of Shikuku with time. He locked out the likes of Hasahala and all the other Luhya leaders who knew what being a Luhya is. So, and before that, he had come up with the issue of banning what he called tribal football clubs. And AFC Leopards, which was Abaluhya Football Club, was one of the key rallying community club. So it had a big bearing in bringing the Luhya nation together. So Moi cleverly says that he will not allow tribal clubs. So Abaluhya Football Club had to be changed into what they call AFC Leopards. Mm-hmm. But he allowed Gor Mahia, which is a Luo, it's a name of a magician, to remain, to maintain the name.
Why would he have done that?
Because he knew the Luhyas would be a problem to him. Okay. So he had to look for a way of neutering them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that is where some of those issues came in. Mm-hmm. But by and large, now what Prof has talked about, there is a lot of consciousness. And people are asking themselves, the Luhya nation are asking themselves, both those who are in the city, the urbanites and the ones in the village, they are asking themselves, where did the rain start beating them? Mm-hmm. So you see, when you hear Natembea talking about Tawe, if you ask anybody in the whole country, they know what Tawe is all about. Mm. It's rejecting what is not right. And it is rallying, the community. Mm. So the Luhya nation now, the consciousness is very high, and people are asking themselves, where did we lose it? Mm. And I can tell you, in the coming elections, the Luhya nation is going to be a very key player in this whole equation. Okay. But you know, Western Kenya is not just about Luhyas.
I want to agree with
you
that.
also have Tesos in Busia. They are quite substantial. A few of them are also in Bungoma. Then you also have Mount Elgon, who are the Sabaots. They are in Mount Elgon, which is also part of the what is called the Western Bloc. But you know, the way my brother he explained, when you talk about the Western region, you don't just talk about the former Western province. You must factor in Trans Nzoia, which was more or less a settlement scheme, and which was predominantly occupied by the Luhyas as the majority. Then the other communities came in at least, but the majority of the occupants are